Imagine the most beautiful angel in heaven, pure, radiant, unmatched in brilliance. But what if that angel became darkness itself? What could transform heaven's brightest star into its worst enemy? You've heard legends, but never the full story until now. Today, we peel back layers of mystery hidden within Scripture and ancient texts. To truly grasp Lucifer's tragic fall, we must journey beyond legends and whispers. Are you prepared to step into a deeper reality where history, spirituality, and secrets collide? Close your eyes and picture heaven in its first days. Golden light bathes every corner in endless cause peace. Angels singing harmonies beyond human comprehension. But something quietly changes in the heart of heaven's brightest angel. The warm glow dims slightly, replaced by a shadow no one sees coming. You stand at the edge of eternity's greatest mystery, about to cross into the unknown. Are you ready to see the story beneath the story? If this journey resonates with you like this video, subscribe to the Prophecy Vault. Comment below what intrigues you most about Lucifer's hidden history. Share your own thoughts and spiritual insights. We'd love to hear from you. Can you imagine how beautiful an angel could be? Close your eyes for just a moment. Let me take you back to the very dawn of heaven itself. Here, everything shines with perfect light. There's no darkness, no fear, only peace. Angels sing softly, their voices blending into one harmonious song. And there, at the center of all this beauty, is Lucifer. Not as you've known him, not as darkness or evil, but radiant, perfect. Isaiah 14 calls him the morning star, son of the dawn. Picture him clearly. Every step he takes leaves trails of shimmering gold. His wings, powerful yet delicate, are woven with threads of silver and sapphire. His face holds a beauty beyond imagination, calm, gentle, yet full of power. Ezekiel 28 describes him vividly. You were in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone adorned you, carnelian, chrysolite, emerald. Imagine standing near God's throne, where divine energy pulses gently. Lucifer stands there, close enough to feel eternity itself. Music flows effortlessly from him, filling every corner of heaven. All the angels pause to listen, captivated, drawn in. He leads them in worship, not with force, but with presence. Yet, deep inside Lucifer's mind, a quiet thought stirs. At first, it's barely noticeable, like a gentle ripple on a calm lake. Everything here is perfect, he thinks quietly to himself. And I'm at the center of perfection. A soft smile forms on his lips as he gazes around heaven. No one here is quite like me. His heart swells with pride, but it's a pure feeling at first. I am complete, he tells himself. I have everything. But in that moment, a question slips into his mind, so softly it almost feels harmless. If I have everything, then why does it feel like something is still missing? Lucifer pauses, unsettled by the thought. He glances toward the throne again, seeing God's perfect, limitless presence. Why does he have something I do not? Lucifer wonders quietly. Shouldn't I too share in that fullness? The question feels small, innocent, but Lucifer can't shake it away. He tries to dismiss it, returning to his music. His voice rings out clearly, but now there's a subtle tension in his notes. No one else notices this tiny change, but Lucifer does. He senses a new emptiness, something he's never felt before. Have you ever experienced that feeling? You achieve something great, something you've longed for, but afterward, there's still a strange emptiness. It's as if nothing is ever quite enough, as if there's always something else just beyond your reach. Lucifer feels exactly this, standing among perfect glory, yet sensing a gap within himself. He tries to ignore it, but the thought grows quietly. His peace slowly turns into quiet restlessness. What more could I possibly want? He asks himself, confused by his own discontent. Yet deep down, he knows. It's the throne itself, the very place where God alone resides. It's not jealousy at first. It's simply curiosity, a desire to understand. A question Lucifer never imagined he'd ask. If I truly have everything, why can't I be equal to him? He doesn't know it yet, but this tiny whisper will change everything. This small thought will one day shatter heaven's peace. But right now, it's only the quiet beginning of something unknown, something dangerous. Have you ever stood at the edge of having everything, yet still felt incomplete? Would it be enough for you, or would you too crave more? Lucifer breathes in, returning to the melody of heaven. He doesn't yet realize the depth of this small fracture. But soon, the light that surrounds him will begin to dim. Come with me as we journey deeper into Lucifer's story. Because what happens next will change everything forever. Could one small thought shake the foundations of heaven itself? Lucifer stood amidst perfect harmony and dazzling light. He was surrounded by endless beauty, endless peace. Yet something had begun to shift within him. At first, it was subtle, just a quiet whisper inside his heart. Why not me? He thought. He pushed the idea aside gently, like brushing away dust. But the question returned again and again, each time stronger. Lucifer glanced around at the other angels. They sang without doubt, their faces radiant, joyful. No one else seemed troubled by these questions. But Lucifer's heart was no longer calm. His mind echoed softly, "Why not me?" The thought deepened, spreading through him. His eyes, once serene and clear, now held a restless shadow. If you looked closely, you could see it, a faint uncertainty, a growing hunger. His gaze drifted upward, settling on the throne of God. Why does only he deserve ultimate authority? Lucifer wondered. His breath quickened slightly. He had never questioned his role before, never questioned God's absolute authority. But now, a tiny seed of doubt had taken root inside him. Lucifer tried to push it away again. Yet it felt different this time, more persistent, more powerful. He began to reason with himself. If I was created perfect, shouldn't I share in that greatness? His heart filled with a strange blend of pride and confusion. He felt drawn to the throne, drawn to the idea of equality. Why must I always serve? He whispered softly. Am I not worthy of more? Lucifer's beautiful features hardened slightly, losing their gentle glow. His eyes darkened subtly, no longer peaceful, but tense. Something within him cracked open, something fragile and irreversible. Isaiah 14:13 echoes his quiet rebellion clearly. You said in your heart, I will ascend to the heavens. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. He heard these words echo clearly in his mind. Was this what he truly desired? His heartbeat quickened as determination took hold. His perfect composure began to slip. Lucifer could feel himself changing, becoming something different, something powerful, ambitious, and dangerous. have you ever let one thought take control of your life? One simple idea, one small doubt, reshaping everything? Lucifer's quiet question had grown into a restless desire. It had taken hold of him completely. His mind raced forward with ambition, leaving no space for peace. "Why can't I stand equal?" Lucifer murmured fiercely. His voice trembled slightly, charged with newfound purpose. The perfect angel no longer felt complete. The harmony around him now felt distant, faded. His bright surroundings felt colder, sharper. A gentle breeze blew through heaven, hinting at storms to come. Lucifer stood, eyes fixed defiantly on the throne. He felt certain of his new path, even though it frightened him. Deep down, he knew there was no going back. His eyes grew darker, clearer, filled now with determination. The angel of perfect peace had become something else entirely. He whispered once more, with chilling confidence, "Why not me?" It was just one simple thought. But in that moment, it shook heaven to its core. Come with me deeper into the mystery, because what happened next changed everything. What happens when angels turn against angels? What does heaven become when war erupts among the stars? It began with a whisper, but it ended in thunder. Lucifer, the once bright morning star, had made his choice. No longer content to serve, he rose up, not in secret, but in the open, his voice ringing out across heaven. He called to those who shared his doubts, his restless ambition. One by one, angels gathered around him, some out of loyalty, others out of curiosity, and a few simply swept up by his powerful presence. There, in the halls of glory, something unthinkable unfolded. Brothers who had sung together, now divided by a single question: who truly belongs on the throne? The air changed. The music of heaven faded, replaced by an electric silence, heavy and expectant. Then, from the opposite side of the heavenly host, Michael stepped forward. His gaze was steady, his resolve unbroken. He was the protector, the unwavering defender of order. Michael's voice was calm, but every word was filled with strength. "Lucifer, this is not your place. Turn back before it's too late." But Lucifer's eyes, once filled with light, now shimmered with defiance. "No," he replied, his voice cutting through the silence. "The time has come for a new order." The heavens held their breath. Revelation 12:7-9 describes it plainly. Then war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and a dragon and his angels fought back. In that instant, light clashed with darkness. A storm of unimaginable fury floated across the skies. Blinding flashes, 1,000 colors colliding, wings beating with thunder. The armies surged, heaven trembling as ancient bonds shattered. It was chaos, breathtaking and terrible. Angels who had known only harmony now faced each other as enemies. The light of Michael's sword met the burning fire in Lucifer's eyes. The air was thick with cries, some of anguish, some of determination. Imagine the turmoil of a city suddenly thrown into civil war, neighbors, friends, even families turning on each other in confusion and heartbreak. That's what heaven felt in that moment, a paradise torn in two. Wings collided like shields, voices that once harmonized now raised in shouts of defiance. The beauty of heaven, so long untouchable, flickered like a candle in a hurricane. Lucifer fought with everything he had. His ambition, his pain, his pride, all burning at once. But Michael fought with something deeper, a fierce loyalty, a love for the order and peace that had always held heaven together. As the battle raged, a darkness spread, an unnatural shadow, thick and heavy. But through it all, Michael's light did not falter. Every time Lucifer surged forward, Michael met him head-on. Every strike echoed with the weight of destiny. For a moment, the outcome hung in the balance. Then, with one final surge, Michael pressed forward, his sword blazing with holy fire. Lucifer faltered. The voices of his followers, once strong, now wavered. In a single decisive blow, the balance tipped. Lucifer and his angels were cast out. Revelation 12:9 says it clearly. The great dragon was hurled down, that ancient serpent called the devil or Satan, who leads the whole world astray. He was hurled to the earth, and his angels with him. Heaven trembled. Silence fell, heavy and final. Where there had been harmony, now there was only the memory of battle. But Michael and the faithful angels stood together, battered but unbroken. Light slowly returned, the peace restored, but not without scars. If you could have witnessed this, if you stood at the edge of glory watching brother fight brother, whose side would you choose? Would you cling to order, to loyalty and light? Or would you follow ambition, risking everything for a dream of power? Maybe you've faced moments like this in your own life. A time when loyalty and desire pulled you in different directions. When the battle inside was just as fierce as anything in heaven. Now, as the dust settles over the fields of eternity, a new chapter begins. Lucifer is gone, cast down, but his story is far from over. Let's follow where he fell. And see what becomes of the morning star in exile. Have you ever watched someone lose themselves, piece by piece, until they were nothing like they once were? Picture Lucifer at the very edge of heaven. He stands alone, wings once shimmering, now battered and trembling. The light that used to dance around him is fading fast. He looks over his shoulder one last time, searching for a way back. But there's no returning now. He hears the echoes of the war behind him, the clash of angels, the cries of loyalty and betrayal. He feels the weight of everything he's lost. And then, with a crack of thunder and a rush of wind, he falls. Isaiah 14:12 speaks the truth. How you have fallen from heaven, morning star, son of the dawn. He doesn't drift gently. He plummets like lightning out of glory and into darkness. As he falls, his wings are torn by the violence of the wind. Feathers that once caught the golden light now twist and burn. All that once made him radiant, beautiful, beloved, slips away with every second. The sky above closes, the light dims. He is swallowed by shadows. You can almost feel the chill, the loneliness, the ache of exile. Lucifer lands in a place where no music plays. No voices sing, no light welcomes him. There's only silence, only dust. He tries to lift his wings, but they don't respond. He tries to speak, but his voice is lost, raspy, unfamiliar, echoing back at him from the void. He remembers the way heaven felt, the warmth, the belonging. Now, all that's left is memory and regret. As he staggers to his feet, something inside him changes. He's no longer Lucifer, the morning star. The beauty in his face is warped, his eyes hard and bitter. Once he glowed with borrowed light. Now, he is a shadow, a warning. The transformation is not instant. It's slow, painful, humiliating. He looks at his own hands, his own broken wings. He realizes with horror that he has become the very thing he once feared. The others who followed him, once radiant, now crawl disfigured, lost. Their songs are gone, replaced by howls of anger and despair. Their forms twist, reflecting their suffering. Lucifer, once the most beloved, is now the most cursed. His pain turns to fury. If he can't reign in heaven, he will rule in darkness. But nothing can fill the emptiness inside. He stands beneath a sky without stars, a king without a kingdom. He calls himself by a new name now, Satan, the adversary, the accuser. Where once he inspired worship, now he sows fear and confusion. Where once he was the bringer of light, now he is the prince of shadows. You watch this fall, and you can't help but wonder, if you lost everything, if everything that made you who you are was stripped away, what would you become? Would you choose bitterness like him? Would you lash out, desperate to regain what's gone? Or could you find another way, a path to hope, even in the dark? Lucifer's story is not just about one angel's fall. It's a mirror held up to every heart that's ever tasted loss or regret. We all face moments when pride or pain tempts us to change, to become someone we swore we'd never be. But what matters isn't just how far we fall, it's what we choose in the aftermath. Do we let the darkness define us? Or do we reach for light, no matter how dim? Lucifer's transformation is complete. He is no longer the morning star. He is the enemy now, forever changed by his choices. The story doesn't end here. There's more to learn, more to see in the shadows. Let's follow the darkness further and see what becomes of a fallen star. Imagine yourself in the heart of Eden, a garden like no other. The sun is warm on your face. Every breeze is gentle. Birds sing, rivers flow, flowers bloom with colors you've never seen. Everything here is peace, innocence, wonder. But listen closely. Somewhere between the leaves, a whisper moves through the air. A voice, soft, silky, strangely familiar, finds its way to your ear. You turn, curious, but nothing seems out of place. Yet the feeling won't leave you. Now picture Eve, standing beneath a tree heavy with fruit, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Its branches stretch wide, casting patterns of shadow and gold on the ground. Eve gazes up, breath held, lost in the beauty of forbidden fruit. Then the whisper grows clearer, wrapping around her thoughts. A serpent, its eyes gleaming with intelligence, glides along the branch. It doesn't strike fear, it draws her in. Genesis 3 describes what happens next. The serpent asks, "Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden?" Eve replies, a hint of uncertainty in her voice, "We may eat fruit from the trees in the garden, but God said, you must not eat fruit from the tree that is in the middle of the garden, or you will die." The serpent smiles, voice smooth as silk. "You will not surely die." There's something alluring, almost hypnotic in those words. For God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. Eve hesitates. She looks at the fruit, so bright, so perfect. She feels a tug inside, a desire she can't explain. Is it curiosity? Is it longing? Is it pride? The voice keeps echoing in her mind. Why would God keep something from her? What if she could be more? What if there's something wonderful just out of reach? The garden, moments ago so light and free, now feels shadowed. A soft wind stirs, carrying the weight of temptation. Eve's heart pounds. Her hand lifts almost without her knowing. She takes the fruit. Her teeth break the skin, and a new knowledge, cold and sharp, floods her soul. In that instant, something shifts forever. The innocence of Eden fades. A chill runs through the trees. Even the colors seem to dull. The songs of birds grow quiet. Adam, seeing Eve, follows after, drawn in by love and trust, by the same questions. And in that moment, all of creation holds its breath, because the world is no longer as it was. Shame enters. Fear arrives. Eyes open not to joy, but to the pain of knowing what's been lost. Eve trembles. Adam looks away unsure. Somewhere in the shadows, the serpent, Satan, watches with quiet satisfaction. His whispers have done their work. The most dangerous temptations never shout. They only ask questions you can't quite shake. They twist truth, awaken hidden longings, plant seeds of doubt. It's rarely the big lies that undo us. It's the small, seductive suggestions. Did God really say, "What about you?" Have you ever felt a whisper in your own life? A subtle question, a gentle doubt, a tug toward something forbidden? Have you ever wanted more just because someone told you you couldn't have it? Sometimes the greatest battles aren't fought with swords or armies. They're fought in the quiet places of the heart, where temptation and desire meet. So let me ask you, would you have the strength to resist a whisper like that? Could you walk away from a promise of more, even if it meant letting go of everything you thought you wanted? Or would you reach out, just like Eve, hoping for something beyond the limits set for you? The fall in Eden is more than an ancient story. It's a mirror, showing us the battle between trust and desire, contentment and longing. It's a warning and an invitation to look inside and ask who we become when temptation whispers our name. The garden is forever changed, but the story is far from over. Let's follow where the echoes of Eden lead us next. What do you think happens when the darkness meets the truest light? Imagine a wilderness, a land of endless stones, dry wind, empty silence. The sun is blazing overhead, but all around is stillness, emptiness. There, alone, walks Jesus. 40 days and nights without food. His lips are cracked, his body weak. But his eyes are full of calm, steady strength. Every breath is a choice to keep going. Every step is a silent battle against hunger and thirst. But the real battle is not with the heat or the hunger. It's with a presence that suddenly appears, silent as shadow. Satan comes not as a monster, but as a whisper at the edge of exhaustion. His voice is tempting, almost kind. "If you are the Son of God," he says softly, "command these stones to become bread." The promise of relief. Just one word and all suffering could end. But Jesus looks at him, gaze unwavering. He replies, "It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God." Matthew 4:4. The desert wind swirls. Satan leads him higher, to the pinnacle of the temple. He gestures to the dizzying drop below. "If you're the Son of God, throw yourself down. For it is written, He will command His angels concerning you, and they will lift you up in their hands." I believe. A test of faith, of trust, of pride. But Jesus answers, It is also written, do not put the Lord your God to the test. Matthew 4:7. One final time, Satan shows him the kingdoms of the world, their glory, their power, all shimmering in the distance. All this I will give you, Satan says, if you will bow down and worship me. A shortcut to greatness. The easy way, no suffering, no cross. Just a simple act of surrender. But Jesus stands firm. Get away from me, Satan! For it is written, worship the Lord your God and serve him only. Matthew 4:10. The world seems to hold its breath. The desert, for a moment, is utterly silent. Satan recoils, defeated not by force but by unshakable truth. And then, just like that, he is gone. The light returns. Angels come and care for Jesus. The long trial is over, but the lesson lingers. What really happened here in the wilderness? It wasn't a clash of armies. It was a battle fought in silence, in hunger, in solitude. It was a struggle with the quiet voice inside, the voice that tempts, questions, and promises shortcuts. Jesus wins, not with power, but with trust, humility, and the truth of God's word. Have you ever fought a silent battle like that? A moment when no one else could see the struggle inside you? When you were tired, hungry for hope, desperate for a way out? When temptation promised relief, or recognition, or escape? We all know what it is to be tempted in the desert of our own lives. We all know how hard it is to say no when we feel empty and alone. But Jesus' story in the wilderness shows us another way. Strength is found not in giving in, but in standing firm. Freedom comes not from shortcuts, but from trust. The light is never brighter than when it stands unyielding against the dark. As Jesus leaves the wilderness, stronger than ever, his journey is far from over. There are greater battles to come for him and for all who follow. But in this quiet victory, a new hope is born. Let's follow that hope to the next chapter, where shadows and promises collide on a cross. Do you know what awaits the one who was once heaven's brightest angel? Picture this, the end of the story, the final reckoning. A sky black as ink, a world holding its breath. In the center of all things, a lake of fire blazes, burning hotter than the sun. The flames dance and roar, casting long shadows across eternity. Satan stands at the edge. He's chained, bound so tightly that not even his will can break free. Every movement is a struggle. Gone is the beauty, the pride, the glow that once set him apart. Now he's only a shadow, a memory of all he lost. Revelation 20:10 describes the scene without mercy. And the devil who deceived them was thrown into the lake of burning sulfur, where the beast and the false prophet had been thrown. They will be tormented day and night forever and ever. There is no more battle left to fight. No more mask to wear. No more kingdom to build. For all his cunning, all his power, this is the place where it ends. He's surrounded by the same flames he once stoked in the hearts of others. All the rebellion, the lies, the pain, consumed by the fire, he cannot escape. He looks around searching for a way out. But there is none. His followers are silent. No one stands with him now. He is utterly alone. The king of pride becomes the prisoner of his own choices. Do you feel the weight of this moment? Do you see how every story, even the most powerful, is shaped by choices? Once, Satan was the morning star. He had everything, but every step, every decision, every whisper led him here. this isn't just a story of defeat. It's a warning, a reminder that pride, unchecked, always has a cost. That there is a final justice, a reckoning none can escape. The lake of fire isn't just a punishment. It's the place where every lie, every wound, every act of defiance finally meets the truth. As you watch the flames rise higher, you have to ask yourself, are you ready to face your own choices? Ready to stand in the light, or will you hide in the shadows? The fate of Satan is written, sealed for all time. But your story, your ending, is still being written. As the veil fire fades into silence, hope breaks like dawn on the horizon. A new story begins for those willing to choose the light. Are you ready to walk forward, knowing what lies behind and what could be ahead? The story of Lucifer is not just about the end of all things. It is a warning, a mirror, a call to every heart. It reminds us that pride, no matter how brilliant or beautiful, can tear down even the highest angel. It whispers that the greatest fall does not come from weakness, but from forgetting the light that made us whole. Every choice shapes our future. Every desire leads us somewhere. And when the final chains break, when every mask is gone, you will face the truth of your own story. Will you choose the path of light, or will you let darkness define you? The lesson is ancient, but it is always new. Pride isolates, but humility restores. Where there is honesty, there is hope. Where there is repentance, there is redemption. If today's story helped you see yourself more clearly, let that realization become your first step. Like this video to share its message with others. Share your thoughts about Lucifer's tragic journey in the comments below. We want to hear your heart, your questions, your story. And if you're ready to discover more hidden mysteries, more stories that reach beyond time and tradition, subscribe now. There is still so much to explore together. As this chapter closes, let the image linger. A fallen star, a choice made, a light still shining in the distance. No matter how dark the night, there is always a dawn for those willing to seek it.